Hey there, this is Jesse with Third Party Ninjas Games. I want to get back into the swing of this devlog thing, so I think it'd be good. I'll just show you what I've been working on. I've got a little platformer. I've been working on it for a couple of months, on and off, spare time. So I'm just going to start off by showing you all the features I've got. So click in the window. Alright, so we've got a little guy. I have the basic tile collision stuff. But I also have slopes, and arbitrary slopes work. I can drop through one-way platforms, jump up through one-way platforms. I have wall jumps. If you look in the background, you can see that there's parallax scrolling. There's currently 3 layers back there. The top has the sky, which is just fixed. It's going to move with the camera, so it's always in the background. Then there's a layer that has these mountains, and there's like a haunted house and a little city there. And it's moving a little slower than the camera, so it kind of stays, it's almost fixed. And in the near foreground here there's like this dirt layer. And then of course there's the tiles, which obviously move with the player and the camera. Okay, so over here, I've got another one-way platform. I have a couple enemies. I'll get to them in a second. This is a moving platform. It's actually built on a spline, so it can follow any spline curve. I'll show you how that works in a little bit. My 2 enemies here, this guy is just a one-eyed monster. This one's a cat. The artist I bought this from, there's actually like 12 different variants. It's really cool. Cat's all I've got in so far. It looks like Garfield or something. I like him because my guy's a pumpkin head and is orange, so it's kind of fun. Let me see if I can get the football player back. Just gotta get far enough till I trigger his spawner. There he is. Alright, so he gets angry and follows you. He chases you. But he de-aggroes whenever he hits a wall and turns around. He takes 2 hits to kill. If you hit him once, he'll be angry, and that will make it so he doesn't de-aggro. Let me show you that. Bonk. Notice he did not give up. He's just going to run like this forever until he hits the end of the level, which is actually just right over here. There's my little test level doesn't have very much in it yet. Okay, so got a couple more things. Up here, if I jump, notice the game all takes place on one plane. There's no camera moving up and down, no matter how high I get up here. Even if I jump off screen, oops. Alright, so even if I jump off screen, it doesn't move. However, I want some neat hidden areas, so I did this. When you jump off screen, it transitions if you land on this platform. And I can show you a little bit. Oh yeah, I like the parallax effect there. So the ground moves off the screen entirely. The city moves to the bottom, and then it's all sky. I think that's pretty fun. And I might go into how that transition stuff works in a little bit. What else? Oh yeah, so I've got 2 other features. So this is all in Unity. You can probably see that here. Got a couple of things disabled, so I can show them off here. Let me enable these. Alright, so these are timed platforms, kind of like in Mario. I mean, straight out of Mario. Celeste has them as well. So, oh, can't play off the video capture. That's a little laggy. Alright, so you can just see they tick down. There's no audio yet. And then the other side will spawn. You can wall jump off of them, do all that kind of cool stuff. In the editor, I have them set up so they're not just, get over here. So they're not individual tiles. These actually don't work off the Unity tile system at all. These are built, let's see, get out of my way. All right, so over here, I can set them to either vertical or horizontal mode. So you can see that one's vertical. I can set how many are in the block. 1 up to 10. 10 is what I have now. I can't imagine needing more of those. And down here I can set the, oh, you can't see that because my head's in the way. Yeah, so I can set the, whether they're defaulted to the orange or blue, whether it's vertical or horizontal, and then I can change the duration. My head's in the way again. I can change the duration on the timer. So currently it's set to 4 seconds, so it'll be on for 4 seconds, then off for 4 seconds. All right, you go back to being horizontal. Let's see if I broke it by having it on. Oh, now they're... Yeah, I broke it. That's what happens when you pause things. All right. The other thing that I've added is over here. Get my head back out of the way. Let me put it over here for now. All right. Because I don't need to show the title bar. Let's see. It's here. Enable that. Hopefully that works. I might just have to reset. Unity doesn't like it if you disable things and then try to enable them. All right, so this is obviously just placeholder graphics. It's just a falling platform. So I jump on it, 1 second later it falls off the screen. Very standard platformer stuff. It should reset after 5 seconds, which I have some settings down here I can tweak there. I can set it to whether it resets or not, the duration of how long before it resets. And all that stuff. Oh, up here you might have seen that it says sprite shape. It's built on the Unity sprite shape, which is pretty cool. After it resets, I'll show you. Hope I didn't just break that. There we go. So, don't know why it's hidden here. Here, let me stop and restart. So, okay. So if I go here, I can edit the spline and change the size. That's pretty cool. That's Unity's built-in sprite shape thing, which I've never really played with. I kind of like it. Alright, so what else is in here? Oh, the enemies. Oh, no, the moving platform. That's what I want to show you. So this uses... these Catmull ROMs, splines that I made. You can see here in the editor, right here. So it's got all the different points, and you can add or delete points. They're control points just like for any spline. And then here I can set how far along the curve. Right here I can set how far along the curve the platform starts. I can set how fast it's going. So like here, I'll set it up to like, it's almost 12. Let me run over there and you'll see. Should be really booking. Yeah, look at that thing. It's pretty funny. Just right along at full speed. All right. Of course, let me put that back before I forget. And there's a timer to set how long to pause at either end of the track. And if I close the spline editor window, that hides. That's built on a Unity serializable object. So any changes I make, oh yeah, I can do that. I can do that live. Let me show you. That's pretty cool. So I'll pause here, bring up the window again. So now I've got it live. I can just reach in here and grab these control points. The white boxes are my control points. It's not a very pretty editor. I can just literally just grab these and drag them around and change what the spline looks like. And when I hit unpause, it might move where I am because it's based on distance along the spline. Whoa. What the heck happened there? Oh, I dragged into the platform. Of course that doesn't work. That's funny. But yeah, you'll see that it now travels along that new path I just made. Little zigzag. This should make... There we go. So it should kind of come down to a point and then up again. Yeah, so that's cool. And it's a serializable object, so it will... A serialized object, I think is what that's called. So it actually saves even if you do it in play mode, unlike most stuff in Unity, which is cool. sometimes it's a bummer. All right. So this guy up here, this is the hidden one. The way that works, I just have a trigger that whenever you step on it, it calls. And so this is calling into the player to trigger the Cinemachine to switch from one to the other. Because I've got two Cinemachine brains, whatever they're called, two things set up. So one region is down here. It is this whole thing. And then there's a hidden one. Let's see. Yeah, that lives up here, this green box. And so when you land on this platform, it triggers that, does the thing. And then I'm just using a simple region check. If you fall out of a region, which I think is here. Yeah. So when the player falls out of that region again, it'll switch back to the main camera. Wonder. Yeah, so play will be down here. Oops. Focus in the window. All right, so you can see nothing's happening, and then as soon as I land on it, it triggers. And then as soon as his center point right here falls out of the box, it triggers to move down here. It's kind of funny to watch this window with all the parallax stuff moving around. That's weird. I haven't watched that before. Okay, so what else do I have in here? Anything else fun to show off? I mean, it's a pretty simple game. I decided to go back to basics. It's been a long time since I put out a game. I've worked on a lot of contract stuff, but it's been like 6 years since I put out something of my own. Let's see. Oh, I've got jump buffering. So if you hit jump just before you hit the ground, it'll still count. And there's coyote time. So if you run off the edge, it gives you just a small amount. I think I've got it set to 1/10 of a second. So the idea is to make it feel natural to jump right at the edge. So you feel like you're jumping at the edge of the platform, even though you're kind of running just off the edge. You just want it to feel natural. You don't ever want the player to feel cheated, like an input got eaten or something. There's a platformer I've been playing a lot, and it doesn't have input buffering. So if you try to jump just when you hit the ground, sometimes you'll hit it a few frames early, and it'll just eat the input. It's like nothing happened, and that sucks. So, and I really love the name Coyote Time. So that's really fun. All right, what else is in here? Doesn't seem like very much for several months of work. Oh, let's see. These guys you probably see in the editor here, these are just spawners. So when the player camera, this edge here is the edge of the player's camera, when that crosses into this little red threshold, if the guy's not already alive, which he's not, you'll see that's when it'll spawn. There it is. Same thing with this cat enemy here. Doop. And so I have that set up. That way, if I have a really big level and there's like 100 enemies, I don't have any idea how many I'm going to have. They're not all active and walking around, because it would really suck if an enemy just like hopped off a cliff before you even got anywhere near where you were supposed to be. So they're just going to spawn when you get close enough. Similarly, back here at the beginning of the level, this is the player spawner. And the idea is if you die, it just respawns you. And here, let me show you what it looks like if I die. I get hit and hit again, and he'll turn upside down. Boop, and the camera just zooms back over here. And I can actually set in this guy, he has a public variable called spawn point. So if I want to add checkpoints throughout the level, like say I want the guy to spawn over here, I could literally just set whatever this position is, I could set as the spawn point, and that'll be where he spawns. That has a bunch of Unity events you might see here. Those are resetting based on whenever the player spawns, because there are certain things like this falling platform. If it doesn't set to reset, so now it's going to fall and be gone forever. Well, that would suck if I respawn the player and the platforms weren't there. So this guy is tied to this, so when it respawns the player, it resets that. Similarly, it resets the timing on these auto-timed switching platforms. And all of these spawners, they'll despawn the enemies if they have any spawned, and they get ready to spawn again. So I can show you some of that here. Let me make it full screen again. So you can see the time is it's on the blue one now. If I die, it resets to the orange, because orange is the default state. And that's going to reset everything. So if I go over here, let me make sure that platform is going to stay away. So it is not going to reset automatically. I jump on it, and it goes away. So it will never come back on its own. But if I die, you might have seen that it reset right before the camera scrolled back to the left. Well, now it's back. So if I go over there, it'll be there. There it is. Works just like we hoped. What else is there to talk about? I don't have any sounds yet. I need to work on sound and music. Obviously, I need to build levels. I have a few more things I want to do. I want like some spike traps. I want a whole bunch of different enemies. I currently just have the 2. Then I just need to start cranking out some levels, play around with these mechanics, and figure out what else I need to add. I think that's it. So I'm going to stop there, and I hope to do one of these a week. We'll see. You know how this stuff goes. All right. Bye for now.